Hello, my friends. In a world where we come from being so disconnected since 2020, and little by little, we've seen people rising up and creating spaces and places to network, to business build, to get to know other people, to get their brands out there in front of the audiences that surround us, becoming those people of influence, those people of interest, right? I am super excited today here at Agents in the Trenches to bring together a powerful conversation. Now, today is going to be very different. So stop scrolling and listen up. Turn up that volume and hit share, whether you're watching me live or you're watching me on replay. Today, the conversation is going to go deep. And why is it going to go deep? Because Agents in the Trenches, as you know, for the last 3 years, consistently has been bringing the conversations of the real, raw realities of agents in the trenches. But we are evolving beyond the trenches. And today we are talking about community. Now, let me tell you what I learned back in 2021 about community. Community is really common unity. Those people that are like-minded, like-hearted, those people that are big thinkers and open-minded about what they do, why they do it, and what they do it for. For me, it's always so important not just to know why you're doing it, but what are you doing it for? What is the secret sauce? What is the superpower? What is the human element that you are bringing to the table? So, guys, we're going to open this conversation today here at Agents in the Trenches. This is a special episode. Go ahead and hit share. We've got people that are going to be joining us, not just locally, nationally and internationally. We have a huge audience of people from all walks of life and different industries in our marketplace. So I'm excited to invite my very first guest. And yes, let me know where you're watching from, because I always like to know where you are watching from. That's super interesting to us. And our biggest audience is really our audience on replay. But as other people join on, I am going to bring on my very first guest. This is a gentleman that I actually met in 2023 here at the Academy when I started to share this vision of creating community, creating a space and a place where people could show up and showcase what they do, why they do it, and what they do it for. And I remember that he shared with me what he was doing in his arena of networking. And it is a pleasure to bring up into the studio my friend Adrian Brito today. So I'm so excited to have you here, Adrian. Welcome to Agents in the Trenches.
Thank you, Lucy, for having me on. Thank you.
Yes. I don't know. I want to share a little story. I don't know if you recall. Actually, I believe it was 2023. We sat in our conference room and we said, "Hey, how can we join forces with you? Here's what I'm looking to do." We continued our paths parallel to each other, but as life has it, we have aligned once again. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do and how you are making that difference in the community.
Absolutely. So, my name is Adrian. I'm the owner of Networking Beast and Liberty Credit Experts. With Networking Beast, we do networking events all throughout the state of Florida. And they're different because it's not like a BNI where you have a membership or annual fee or monthly fee. They're free networking events. You can come out, network, meet people, relaxed. Nice environment. You get a free drink, free appetizer, and it's open. It's a relaxed setting. It's usually at a restaurant or at a bar. And a lot of people tend to really like our events. Some of our busiest events attract over 100, 120 people per location. So this Thursday, we're having one at Top Golf in Fort Myers. There's 2 golf bays available. So if you'd like to come out, try your shot at golf and network and meet people in the community.
I'm excited about this Thursday because for the first time, I accepted your invitation to not just come and participate. I've been to some of your networking events, but I don't know, there's something different that I sense is awaiting us. I don't know if that's just my perception, but give us a little bit of behind the scenes. I know it's a new location. What elevated you guys into this new location? What was the ideas and the thoughts behind it?
So we usually do our events at a restaurant or at a bar. Everybody likes to have a drink while networking, right? It helps loosen up the conversation. But we thought, let's gamify it a little bit. Let's have a round of golf, right? Have a different venue and see how we like that. So we're going to probably start running with that for other locations as well.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, we're definitely going to be talking a lot more about, what you've been doing. You guys have been doing your events for how long now?
We've been doing our events for just over 8 years. So we started in Boca Raton and we've branched out from Stewart to Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Tampa, St. Pete. We do about 15 events a month throughout the state. It's a
My
pretty big
goodness.
operation at this point. Yeah.
Wow, those are some big shoes to step into, but that's exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, next we're going to bring on someone that I've seen from afar for several years. As many of you know, I've been serving since 2023 as well in the Naples area. And, I've always come from a spirit of contribution. I love contribution. I love co-laboring with other people. And I said, okay, you know what, before I actually just jump in, because I've always, obviously in real estate, sold and represented buyers and sellers in the Naples area, but I had never really served. I've never sat at a board. So in 2023, I had the opportunity to sit at the board for NAREP Naples. And in 2024 and 2025, I actually sat and contributed with my time, talent, and contribution at the board of directors for WCR Naples on the Gulf. And that really gave me a very beautiful perspective on how powerful that area is and how much there is to do. And so through that, at NABOR, I was able to spot this lady, very fired up, very knowledgeable. And I now invited her to join us in what we're doing in Naples through Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp. So let's hear it for Lorraine Geraci. Lorraine, how are you this morning? Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much, Lucy. It's so great to be here. Hi, Adrian. Wonderful job you just did. I'm excited about all that you're doing as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Lorraine, tell us a little bit about you, what you're doing lately, because I know you have also reinvented yourself, redesigned yourself, repositioned yourself, and now you've relaunched in something really exciting called Lorraine Inspires. Tell us about that.
Thank you so much. So I have been in mortgage and real estate for about 25 years right now, predominantly in sales and education. And with providing educational resources to this industry, it certainly can be challenging because when people hear about training and education, they're thinking compliance, they're thinking boring and have to do's. I want to make education amazing again and really provide opportunities for people to want to learn more about what they're doing. So I worked for several mortgage companies out there and educated a lot of people, done CE trainings for real estate professionals nationwide, but predominantly here in Florida. And, LorraineInspires.com was, a creation that I brought about because I was so excited to help other people, motivate them to be the best versions of themselves, provide opportunities for people in the community to really kind of expand out of their woe is me mindset and, not moving along with their dreams and desires. How many people that around you are just kind of wallowing? So it got me excited. And through the help of some people, I created Lorraine Inspires. And it's, as a professional coach and speaker, I'm doing MC events and really helping people and communities and organizations really create a plethora of variety of educational resources, motivation, and inspiration to be the very best that they can be and be successful, whatever that means to them.
I love that. Well, recently you accepted our invitation to be one of our fireside chat speakers at Winners Wednesday Productivity Bootcamp Naples edition. And you brought that spunkiness and that fire and that, just that full power presence that you encompass. And everyone was so impressed. I was really happy to have you. And we're going to keep talking about doing more things in Naples because I think that we are just getting started to bring what Naples is also needing and wanting. And I know that, I've spoken to Adrian about Naples. Obviously, you're in Naples and we just joined forces. But I also want to bring up someone that I'm super happy has accepted the invitation today. Now, everyone knows that I used to own a Century 21 franchise, 2005 to 2020. So for 15 years, I operated that. And that was like my future. I didn't know anything else, right? But then one day, God inspired me to go for more, go for more. And as you all know, my real estate organization is run on the platform of eXp Realty. And through eXp Realty, I met this powerhouse woman, and I saw her speak at one of our events talking about take your chair and throw it overboard, right? And we all have a chair that keeps us in our comfort zone, a chair that keeps us, just tied down, or a chair that reminds us of back in the day. And wow, I even get chills remembering that. So let's hear it for Peggy Delano, my dear friend now, who is also in Southwest Florida. Welcome, Peggy. How are you?
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Lucy, when I met you, we did Build at Sea. It's community, it's coming together. And I'm super excited to be. I'm actually in Naples also today. I guess we're the Naples crew. But, when I met you and I heard about what you're doing, that is exactly our mission as a company. Not only are we real estate agents, not only are we serving our clients, but we're lifting each other up. We're here to create culture and community. And Build at Sea, where I told everybody to throw their chair overboard, was just another great mastermind group that we as agents put on. Totally different than our former companies. So I'm so glad you came to eXp, and I'm glad I came to Southwest Florida because I got to meet you. And now I have two more friends.
I know. So let's open it up. Let's open up this conversation. And I want to share with you guys a word that I learned in 2024. When I heard, I was being coached by Tony Robbins the whole year of 2024. Well, actually 2023 to 2024. And when I heard one of the mentors come up and talk about this word, I was like, wow, that word just hit me in my heart like a spear, right? It just penetrated. And I said, wow, that's what I want to be able to help other people do. That's what it all needs to look like. That's what it needs to feel like. And the word is co-elevate. I don't know if anybody has ever heard about the word co-elevate, but we're always talking about, here's what I want to do, and here's where I want to go, and here's what I'm working on. But the word co-elevate to me has meant so much since then. And it is one of the things that I've pledged to do, whereas, going to that second mountain of success, not the way I did it the first time around, which is, it was all about me and getting to the top. But now, since 2020, it was, I want to make it to my second mountain of success, one hand up and one hand down. Now, is it easy? Absolutely not. Is it rewarding? Absolutely, yes. So let's go around and just talk about a little bit about what do you feel your second mountain of success should feel like, should look like. What do you envision with your second mountain of success? Who wants to kick it off?
Well, I'll jump in because my second mountain of success is right here. This is part of it. This is part of the foundation. It's getting to bring people together. It's getting to share ideas. It doesn't matter what company we're with or what we do. We all have such an abundance of knowledge. We need to get it out there. And to be a guest on a podcast is part of it. I want to help not only grow agents, but I want to help change lives with individuals who are stuck. And that's why I talked about throwing the chairs overboard. It was a metaphor for all the things that we carry around and the things that we want to recreate in our lives. So I think lifting each other up, and I love your analogy of the one hand up. I think of my hand down that I'm pulling somebody else up with me.
Yes.
So, I mean, isn't that what it is? That's put so well. And I've heard so much of Tony Robbins, have seen him at our events. I don't remember hearing that word before. So thank you, Lucy, for reminding me of it and giving such a great example. And you're doing it right here with us. So,
well, thank you. And this is really what swells my heart with joy. Trust me, I have never felt more fulfilled in my life than now, right?
wow.
And actually, it was Tony Robbins inviting another mentor. And it was the mentor that was speaking in the room that said, we all have two mountains of success and we've all reached some level of success. But think about when you get to that first mountain, what did it really feel like? And what did you really see? And it made me think, when I, between 2005 and 2020, I had reached the summit. I mean, I was there. I could see it. I felt it. I saw it. The titles and the accolades and the trajectory and the experience and the money was all there to back me up. But I'd never felt so unfulfilled. I had never felt so unfulfilled. I was like, "Ugh, there has to be more." So, Adrian, tell us what you envision your second mountain of success needs to feel like or be seen like, or what do you envision it like?
I feel like I've reached one of those pinnacles, is growing these networking events. I'm not alone. My business partner, Gabe Gutlin, he's on the East Coast in Boca, so he handles a lot of the East Coast events and things in the middle. Orlando helps with pretty much everything. We're partners on these businesses, and I couldn't do it without him. So I definitely have to give him a shout out on here. He's a great educator, great motivational speaker as well. We do a lot of CE classes for realtors with the credit repair company, Liberty Credit Experts, that we do. So I think that the second summit, I guess you could say, would be to continue to grow these events in a way that provides a sense of community, right? So we have a lot of regulars that come to the events, a lot of new faces every time, and it's a good atmosphere. People have fun, they connect, they make great connections. Just continue to grow that. Really, I like providing a space for others to connect in a relaxed environment. That's one of my passions, is networking. I've been doing it since I was an intern at 17 years old, working for a chamber of commerce and doing events. That's what I've always enjoyed doing.
I love it.
It's connecting people.
Excellent. Lorraine, tell us about I think you are on your way. I think that you have designed and you're curating your second mountain of success. Tell us what that feels or looks like for you. How do you imagine it?
Yeah, climbing mountains was certainly never originally my destination idea, for sure, not physically anyway. But, one of the things that I recognized working in mortgage companies and working for real estate folks, and I do CE classes too, Adrian, so I would love to be able to partner with you on that. It's one of my passions, right? And Peggy, gosh, I want to throw chairs with Peggy overboard. I want to go scuba diving with Peggy, even though I hate scuba diving. And she's like, so I love the energy that you bring, Lucy, to the people that are on here, as well as for us, for each other. I think my second mountain is really to create somewhat of a dynamic school of business. One of the things that I think is missing in our industries, generally speaking, I know we have sporadic schools here and there. We have people that teach CE classes. We have people that teach mortgage professionals. We have classes that are done in silos, which is wonderful. However, I want to be able to create schools that are going to allow people to learn from some folks like yourselves on how to be better versions of themselves so they can go out and do these things and spread the wealth. One of the things we recognize working in mortgage business, loan officers can be exceptional mortgage professionals. They can know their products, they can know their client, they can know their services, but often they're very, very uncomfortable getting up in front of speaking in front of other business professionals, asking for the business, closing the sale. You see where I'm going? I want to help those folks feel more confident and secure as they move forward in their own business. So I'm looking for people to help me build a school. Are you guys in or what?
I'm in.
Right, yeah.
Well, I have the academy. The academy opened up in 2020, and it's the only real estate and business academy. We don't just license people.
Right.
Our vision really is to help agents elevate their productivity and business owners to develop their business, which is something that is so needed, right? Because even yesterday we were talking about anyone can register a company. I mean, 20 minutes on the computer, $100, and you are a company owner registered with the state. Then anyone can open up a business. You just spend a lot of money, put a lot of time, effort, and cover overhead, and now you own a business. But who's there to help you grow it? So I love what you're saying, because there is such a huge need for people to be helped with business development. And we can definitely talk a lot more about that. So yes. Okay. Now, what's missing in your perspective? What is missing in our marketplace that we as history makers, right, could bring to the table to really make a greater impact? I'll let Peggy kick it off. What do you feel that's missing? What does your heart tell you that's missing in our marketplace that you as a history maker, putting on your history maker hat, right? Or your history maker superpower.
Okay.
You know what? Here's what I want to bring to the marketplace. Here's what I see is missing.
So I feel, again, I just moved from Laguna Beach. I was running mega luxury offices out there. And I've worked all over the country with real estate agents. And what I'm finding here is that community to give without boundaries, without labels of what your company is. Everyone to me appears to be very close knit. They're not willing to trust that if I come to this event, it's okay. I want to be able to help agents and lift them up with a broker agnostic feeling. I do a Zoom every Wednesday. I've been doing it for 4 years now. It's called Wake Up Wednesdays, 9 a.m., zoompeggy.com. I coach agents all over the world that come onto that call. And we've held 3 retreats now. We had people come from different parts of the country who were not with our brand EXP, who just wanted to come together and share and lift each other up. So I want the Southwest Florida agents and businesses, it doesn't matter what your label is. We're all here for the same purpose, and we can all lift each other up. We just have to get rid of our egos. And we didn't invent what we're doing. Somebody else did it. So let's all share, talk about it, and how can we help? Because in the end of the day, when we do a transaction together, if we're all learning, it's going to be a better transaction for our clients. And isn't that our sole purpose? To serve our clients and give them the best customer service? So I'm trying to level up coaching and do more for the real estate community and bring people together without the fear of, oh, I'm with this broker or that broker. It doesn't matter. We all have something to share.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I love that. How about you, Adrian? What do you feel is missing in the marketplace that you've identified that once you put on your superpower cape, you want to be able to contribute or be that differentiator?
Number one, credit education. There's not a lot of consumers or business professionals that understand the intricacies of how credit reports work, how to influence credit scores and boost up the score, essentially, for that, for personal and for business credit. So credit is a space that I've been in for over 10 years, almost 10 years at this point. 2027 would make 10 years. So it's definitely something that's missing. So that's what we do a lot of, is education on the consumer side and on the professional side. We do first-time home buyer presentations for different communities. We do lunch and learns. We do open houses. We do all sorts of events with realtors and mortgage lenders. And then CE classes. I think we've educated over 7,000 or 8,000 realtors here in the state of Florida just in the last 5-6 years. Wow. We do these CE classes directly with Our World on the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys do them here on the West Coast as well, the way you do them on the West Coast, or not yet?
Yeah, that's how we met. Remember, one of the first CE classes we did here on the West Coast was at the Academy.
Yes, it was. I recall that.
Yeah.
But do you do them? You guys do them consistently?
Pretty consistently, yes.
Okay, and so the West Coast is what you're saying could use more consistency in doing that.
Yes, absolutely.
I would love to. I would love to be your gateway to providing that, because yes, we'll talk more about what we're doing and what we could do together as leaders as well. So Lorraine, what do you identify is that missing component that you want to bring to the marketplace?
I would love to showcase the return on investment for what all this means, because often a lot of companies are, fearful to invest in a lot of education, coaching, all the things that we have to offer as a community and as people that are very, excited about being able to do that for other people. And there are some folks that just don't see the end result. How does that, retention for my employees? How does that make my business better? How does that make my professionals better versions of themselves? And how does that, the bottom line is important, even though obviously personal connections, communication, relationship building, all of these things in conjunction with artificial intelligence is really the way in which people are going to skyrocket. But how do you showcase to other people where investments are required to these resources? I could speak from experience on that, where, hey, listen, I can show you that even CE classes, Adrian, I don't know how you do this, but when I was doing CE classes at my prior mortgage company, I had a whole report trying to showcase return on investment. Gee, how many real estate agents, contacted Johnny and gave him, mortgage leads because of that class? And how much money did we make because of that, right? So there's a need out there to really have these entities that are providing the investment resources and understanding on how what we all do affects the bottom line. I think that's very important and sometimes missing.
I love that. I wanna stay a little bit on track with what Peggy was talking about, because I've personally experienced the separation, right? The division of being in the real estate industry, right? But also wanting to build community, but a lot of people being repelled by the fact that they just feel like if I go and hang out with someone that's not part of my brand, my logo, my affiliation, then I don't know, like I'm walking into enemy territory. And one of the things that I believe in is just tearing down the walls.
That's what I'm going to do.
Walls of separation, tearing down the walls of division, really tearing down the walls of what keeps everyone just like to themselves. And I am a universal thinker. I am a global visionary. I am someone that doesn't even believe. Listen, I know that friendly competition is good. It keeps us on our toes.
Right.
But mentally and internally, I really don't have competition, because it's all about what I bring to the table and how I differentiate myself. So I want to ask you guys, what makes you different? What's your unique superpower? Have you identified it? What do you think about it? Is it just a cliche? Or do you really know that there's something that differentiates you from, as a person, not what you do, but who you are from everybody else?
Okay, I'll go again. I have developed a skill of listening intently. I am obsessed with what the other person is saying, and they know it. They know it by my reaction. They know it by the questions that I ask. They also know it by when I follow up with them. I'm able to get into rapport very, very quickly. I have people tell me things that they go, oh my God, I can't believe I told you that. I'm able to build a trust factor. And that is so important, because I'm going to say I learned a hard lesson. I used to be a team leader. I had 16 offices that I was in around the country with Keller Williams. And you're very busy. And I had one of my top agents, Roland, walk in one day, and he looked at me and he said, shut off your computer, turn your phone over. I've got something really important to talk to you about. And I'm kind of like, well, I always listen. He's like, no, you don't. You're always distracted. And that was about 10 years ago, where I thought I was a great leader. And it was when he called me out literally on that, I realized when someone has to speak with me, that's important. And I need to give them the respect. So listening intently, asking great questions, following up, and not making it about you. When the person is talking with you, it is truly about them. It doesn't matter if you've had the exact same experience. You don't need to talk about it. You need to listen to them and be obsessed with what they have to say.
I love that. Wow. That's definitely top of the list when it comes to human connection. Right? That's so powerful. Yeah. Thank you, Peggy. Adrian, what is your unique thing that that, look, no one's going to do it like Adrian. This is what I do, and this is what makes me different?
Along the similar lines, Coach Peggy, I love what you said. Absolutely.
Thank
It's
you.
very important to listen intently. And I think it's important to actually care about what the other person is saying.
Yes.
Showing, I wouldn't say showing emotion, being emotional, but rather connecting on a genuine
Mhm.
level. So I've
Yes.
developed this. I don't know if I've developed it or if I've always had it, but I have this way of connecting with people in a way that I just treat them like family from day one,
Mhm.
from the
Yes.
very first moment. There's no sales pitch. There's no fake smile. There's no, oh, hi, how you doing? No, it's like I
Yes.
genuinely care. And once you get me talking, I can't shut up. Those that know me, Lucy, you know that it's once you get Adrian going, but that's helped me connect with a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds and walks of life, different experiences. And it's just, I don't know, I think that's
Mhm.
probably one of the biggest things.
Okay, I
Yes.
love that. Lorraine, how about you? What's your superpower? What makes you authentic and unique?
Um, I love what Peggy and Adrian are saying because I want to piggyback off of it because they are
Mhm.
spot on 100% right. And Peggy, it's not as easy, right, as
No.
one would think to listen intently, especially when you're an extrovert, especially when you're somebody that loves to be able to get energy from other people.
Right.
One of the things that I was doing when I many years in the mortgage business, even transitioning from sales into education, is know your audience
Mm,
Mhm.
and involve
Yes.
them, especially when it comes to speaking. I do a lot of MC work. I do a lot of, education, and it's not just about being spoken to. It's about
mhm.
involving the people in the audience in your conversation, getting them involved in participation, communicating, being relevant. Every once in a while, I tend to use a little bit of humor and improvisational comedy when I'm speaking to
Absolutely.
people. It's off the
Yeah.
cuff. It's not, it's not, as Lucy knows, we were at the event, a couple weeks ago, and all of a sudden I just started singing. It was not planned, but it was relevant to what was spoken about the prior, for the person that
Mhm.
was
Yes.
interviewing prior, right? So being improvisational, being present, and really knowing your audience and welcoming them and
Mhm.
involving them, because people will remember a little bit about what they hear. They remember more about what they see, but when they're doing things and they're involved,
Mhm.
that is more likely they're going to remember you. They're not going to forget you when they walk out the door. So that's important.
I love
Perfect.
Absolutely.
that. So now let me ask you guys, what do you want to know about each other or anyone that's on here? I'll let you guys ask some questions because you guys are all leaders in the marketplace, right? You all lead from a sphere. And so
Mhm.
bring up a question. What's on your heart? What are you thinking right now? Think out loud.
Lorraine, what types of CE classes do you do?
I specifically, thanks for asking, Adrian. I specifically focused mostly on reverse or retirement mortgages, teaching agents how to potentially double their sales and listings by working with the retirement market in purchase and refinance opportunities nationwide.
That's
Wow.
perfect for
That's
Naples.
great.
I,
Yeah.
yeah, you would think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
33% of the people that live in Collier County are over the age of 65, and the national percentage is 17. So
Yeah.
it's really a great market to be able to build even more wealth for people that are in or near retirement. So that's what I mostly did my CE classes on.
I love it.
Absolutely. That's unique. I love that.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I just want to know how I can help you guys. This is such a cool group. I want to get involved. What can I do to help you?
I would love to collaborate more too. I think it's really important. I thrive on being with like-minded people, and I'll be quite honest and frank. I'm from New York originally, so I'm a little bit blunt sometimes and to the
Me
point.
too. I'm Connecticut.
All right,
Yeah.
girl. So it's like, I don't, not always, sometimes I'm filtering, my verbiage, but it's not very often that you find like-minded people. I'll be
Right.
quite honest with you, whether it's professionally, even in friendships and things of that nature. And I think it's very important when you come together, as Lucy was talking about, as a community or a group of people that are going to help one another with a common goal. And
Mhm.
that excites me. And it just makes us
Absolutely.
stronger being together.
Love it.
Lucy's
Adrian,
very
you have
good at
any
connecting
questions?
people to provide value for people in the community
I
as
know it. I
well.
love every minute of it. Yeah,
Definitely a pioneer.
yeah. And I'd love to get involved in your networking opportunities too, Adrian. I'd love to learn more about
Mhm.
that. I put my information
Absolutely.
in the chat. Thanks.
Absolutely.
So I want to respect your guys' time. Obviously, we could be here forever. I want to ask each of you, tell me about your passion in what you do day in and day out. What is that about? Because I think that we all have somebody doing what we do. We're not the only one that does what we do, right? Every one of us has an echo in the community. And one of the things that I teach people when I am at the academy is, you must identify what sets you apart from the rest, but also you're going to be your most authentic version. And I think now with the world of AI and everybody being able to replicate us one way or another, right? Yes, I believe imitation is the highest form of compliment. I love that, but there's still that authentic element. So tell me about your passion in what you do, and how do you bring that into your daily method of operating? What are you so passionate about that you could do it all day and not even have to eat or go to the restroom? Because if you're like me, I know what my bliss is, and I feel when I get into my bliss, and I literally don't have to go to the restroom or eat, right? So what's that like for you? Peggy, kick it off.
Oh my gosh. My passion right now is gratitude. So I was looking for oh, here it is right now. So I've got this book, and it's Countdown to Riches, 21 Days of Gratitude. And it is by Rona Bryan, who was part of The Secret, who wrote The Secret.
Yeah.
And I just believe that if you wake up every day and you have gratitude and you change your mindset, even this is gratitude towards money, because it's in abundance, guys. And so my whole focus right now is, how can I have gratitude, become a person that can also help other people step into gratitude, because I believe that will change everything. So I'm passionate about that, and growing 21 Days of Riches, because so if it brings me money, it's not about the money, it's about what the money can do. So my attraction to money isn't for greed. My attraction to money right now is to be able to spend it on others and to give back and to help other people grow.
Yeah, I love that. Adrian, what's your passion?
Spend it on others, Peggy. Listen, I have a boat project going on that I can do some boat parts for.
Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll manifest it.
I'm accepting donations as well at the academy.
Yeah.
So we can continue to serve people free every Monday and every Wednesday, which is It's free to the people that show up, but it costs money to sustain.
It does.
So, yes, every week. So, Adrian, what's your passion?
My passion is helping people change lives. I've been in the credit space for about 10 years, and nothing makes me happier than to hear one of my clients buy a house, right? A lot of people, we're all in real estate in some form or another, right? So a lot of their goals is to buy a home. Some people attain that in their 20s. Some people attain that much later in life. It just depends on the circumstances. So to bring someone from a very, very low credit score, 300s, 400s, and you can't even finance a bottle of water at a gas station because you don't got a credit card, to the point where, you qualify, you buy a $500,000 home. A lot of people make great money. They just don't have the credit. And a lot of times it's really just about re-educating and restructuring and reanalyzing what they're doing and how they're doing it. It's not always about removing negatives. Quick tidbit, credit utilization. I see clients all the time that have the potential to have an 800 credit score, but they're maxing out their cards, not because they don't have the money to pay, but because they don't know when to pay. So if you pay your credit card a day or so before the statement closes for the month, whatever balance is there gets reported to the credit bureaus. So it's just really about paying on a different day. So I have clients all the time that come to me, they make a bunch of money, there's nothing negative, no late payments, no nothing. And they make that change and boop, there's 150 points. Now you qualify, you're in a good place. So it really depends. And providing education and changing lives, that's what I'm passionate about. So I can sit there and educate about credit all day.
I love
it.
I'm going to get you a hot seat at the academy, and you can come every day, and you
All
can
right,
be
let's do
surrounded
it.
by people and just, serve them at that higher level, because, we all do something for money. Everybody does something for money, right? Everybody needs their daily bread. But I always like to know, what is really your passion? That thing you would do for free, um, even if you knew, look, I'm going to do this for this person. They can't pay me, but I know that there is a higher power that will
Right,
always recompense my effort and my time and my sacrifice.
Mhm.
I love that.
right.
Lorraine,
We've been.
what is it
Oh,
for you? What's your passion?
Well, I'm going to quote a Daughtry song, and all that I'm after is a life full of laughter. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Not that everything's funny. I don't mean it that way, but when I see people laughing and enjoying themselves, whether it's at a social setting like what I'm about to do in the next 10 minutes here, and go host a fashion show where everybody's happy and excited, and they get to eat lunch and have drinks, and I'm going to go network with Adrian too. A couple things. One of the I get up in the morning with gratitude, and I love that you said that, Peggy. I ask for great health, consistent wealth,
Yes.
and love. Right. So those
Yes.
things, for me, are most important, because you can't have anything if you don't have good health. Right. So that, in my
Right.
opinion, has to come first. Focusing on becoming a healthier version of yourself. I'm in that
Hmm.
progress right now. Who am I to help other people become the best versions of themselves if I'm not the best version of mine?
that's
So
right.
I'm being much more introspective, and I'm
Hmm.
passionate about leading by example, not just
Yes.
verbally, but in other aspects as well. And I want people to know that it is possible, to be able to do all these things, and have fun enjoying doing it. That, and
Yes.
setting up themed parties. I love to entertain people. As Lucy knows, I just moved into a new home in Northeast Naples, and I have so much more room now to entertain, and I'm so excited about it, because I love bringing people together for the common good
Hmm.
of fun, interaction, relationship building, and communication, and keep that alive even with
I
all the
love it.
technology.
I love
I
this.
love it. Yes. So listen, I'm accepting invitations, especially to Naples, because all of you guys know, and I'm proud to say it. I launched this movement in Naples, and we are homeless, meaning that we don't have a location. We don't charge for people to show up. So, I'm very grateful to Legends Lounge, who opened their doors. But hey, I would love to mastermind, and I would love to get together. So invite me to your new home, and we'll share some ideas. So I want to bring this to a wrap, but as I hear each of you speak, I can't help but recognize that this is what building community, common unity, is all about, right? Being
Hmm.
that connector, being that person that gives and gives and gives selflessly. And I can't help but feel the like-mindedness that is in this studio right now, because each of you are bringing that passion to the forefront. So definitely, in my opinion, we need a lot more servant leaders in
Agreed.
the marketplace. Leaders that are not leading just for title or
Hmm.
position, leaders that are leading from a calling. And that's where my passion is right now, doing what I do, not because of um, you know, that's what I'm supposed to do, but doing what I do because that's who I am. That is my
Hmm.
essence. And so I'm so grateful that you guys accepted this invitation. Yes, come and join Adrian and myself. I'll be sponsoring for the first time at Top Golf. So come on down and let's make it an amazing night. And the doors of the Academy are open. We have built an ecosystem that is second to none. Everything is turned into a movement. Being able to look back and seeing 16 months later, how even if I'm not here, because I wasn't here last week. I traveled to
Hmm.
Colombia. I'm working on a very powerful project there that I will be sharing in the month of May. But being able to see, people show up and carry on the vision, carry on the momentum, carry on the movement, even if I'm not here. Uh, it was just such a blessing. I can't even articulate what I felt. So I would love for you guys to also be part of what we've built every Monday or every Wednesday. And let's really rise up. Let's rise up. I think, guys, I think May is the month of really building that momentum that I know we're able to do together. Any closing words? I know Lorraine has to run. Adrian, Peggy, any closing words?
I just would invite everybody to share Wake Up Wednesdays, ZoomPeggy.com. It is a movement. It has grown exponentially, and you never know who you're going to meet or the tips that you're going to have. It's not just for realtors. It's for anybody looking for community and wanting to build their business up. So please join us.
Excellent. How about you, Adrian?
Come on down to our event on Thursday, Top Golf, thenetworkingbeast.com. Very simple.
Ooh.
If you go down there, it'll show you all of the different events that are going on for the next few months.
Awesome. Awesome.
You,
Lorraine, how about you?
That's fantastic. And yes, I want to definitely be part of all of this. And I am here to help in any way. I'm going to do the fashion show for the Women's Council of Realtors, Naples on the Bay, in just a few minutes. But yeah, I do have a website, lorraineinspires.com, where a lot of information is on there. And if there's anything I can do to help individuals, organizations, or companies, I'd be happy to. And thank you again for having me. It was a pleasure to meet Peggy and Adrian, and I have no doubt I'll be seeing you again.
Yes, this was amazing, guys. So until next time, I just want to remind everyone, I have one of the most powerful invitations you could ever accept this year. It is Build at Sea, 2026.com. It is the mastermind of masterminds, where you will be surrounded by the top 1% nationwide of empire builders in the real estate arena. And I'm not just talking about realtors or brokers. I'm talking about everybody that is part of the real estate arena. So I'm going to ask my team to drop the link in the chat. It's going to be July 9th through the 12th. And my dream would be to have, obviously, Lorraine, have Adrian. I know Peggy's going to be there, but every single person in Southwest Florida deserves to be amongst the top 1% and see what happens beyond our frontiers. Because sometimes we have such a limited vision of what we can do. And I know Southwest Florida is beautiful. And I know I've been here since 1996, but it is so laid back. My mission is to bring the fire. My mission is to build the fire alongside top leaders, like-minded, big thinkers, open-minded people, history makers, game changers like you guys. So thank you for accepting this invitation. And I will see you on the next Agents in the Trenches. And everybody share this because it was a powerful conversation. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you
guys.
See you all soon.
Honored to be here. Thanks.
Same here.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.